Hello, welcome back here to the Dougal Greenhouse in Brooklyn, New York for the second series. Now, this is, of course, the opening day of competition here. Good win for Miami in the opening session, defeating Houston Volts, clean sweep 2-0. Now, it's the turn of Las Vegas Smash, the defending champions, of course, crowned champions also at the Pro Padel League final in San Diego. Good end to the regular season, looking to carry that end of season form into this finale here in Brooklyn. They take on Toronto Polar Bears, the only team representing Canada since its launch. The team has been hugely successful promoting the sport in North America. There were no courts when the club first started, and improved to 8 in 2023, much more this season. And here, Paul Giblin really looking forward to this second game. We had a clean sweep in the first, so important for Miami to take 3-0. They took all 3 points. Now, there's no mixed doubles game. Should a team take the series 2-0, they take 3 points. If it does go to a third and final decisive game, then the winning team would take 2 points and the losing side 1. So the loser here, if they can take 1 point, they would still have more points than Houston Volts. The losers in the opening game, we will start with the women's doubles, then the men's doubles, and perhaps, if needed, the mixed doubles.
Yep, exactly. Well, I'm just looking at this as well. I mean, just thinking ahead, you know, Miami taking 3 points. They've got a tricky one tomorrow against the Los Angeles Beat. But they were excellent today, and I think Tapia will be even better. But the big difference is this game is starting with the women's doubles first, and it's got to be said, I think I'm going to be putting my favoritism on Victoria Iglesias and Mariana Guinart. One big reason for that, Eric, is they actually play alongside each other as a partnership in the regular season. I think that is a big advantage. That they began actually, they played in Miami, didn't they, in the Pro Padel League. It worked really well, and they stayed together.
Well, that, of course, it does help if you have that understanding with your doubles partner. Having played together, winning, losing, that gelling that sometimes some teams don't have. And now I know some people at home watching are wondering, why isn't Tapia playing with Cuellar, for example? Well, there was a draft system in use when these teams were formed. And so, of course, like any draft, they take it in turns to select certain players. So very rarely do you actually see partnerships from other Padel Tour circuits playing together here. But you have here, as Paul mentioned, with Guinart and Iglesias.
Just quickly to let you know, Ana Paula de la Peña, who will be playing alongside Marta Ortega, Martita, as she's nicknamed. The youngest ever world #1 in the ranking. Ana Paula de la Peña, not quite as high in the rankings, I think it's fair to say. But she is a former, another paddle player who's got into the sport through tennis. She was an ex-tennis player, played Fed Cup.
Actually played with her sister. Played with her sister.
Who was also called de la Peña.
And they played together, and they were winners of the National Championship, the Open, event held in Torreon. And looking to hopefully transfer that good form to this event in Brooklyn, New York. Now, in under a minute, this warm-up will end. This first game will get underway. Probably favourites on paper, Iglesias and Guinart.
No, I think so. Marina Guinart, another Catalan player. Powerful big hit. Two quite powerful hitters, to be honest, Victoria Iglesias and Mariana Guinart. She's come up the ranking as well. Guinart, she's ranked 22. So, you know, if you think earlier on, Lorena Rufo, she was ranked 21st. Mariana Guinart ranked 1 place below her, and Victoria Iglesias, she's 28th.
Well, Iglesias on a day, really good.
Yeah.
Big hitter.
From Seville.
Really hits those ground shots extremely well. Has that trademark double-handed backhand. We saw that also from Jensen in the earlier game, and we're seeing that it's actually quite a fast surface. Quite a few short points in the men's game earlier, also the women's game first thing, both ending in straight sets. Marta Taliban, Adi Sanchez clinching their win 6-4, 6-1 in just under an hour and a quarter. And then that game was followed by Tapia and Santh against Alex Chotas and Ivanchu Ramirez, and that was 6-3, 6-3.
Exactly. What else can we say? Marta, she currently partners the Portuguese player Sofia Arojo in the Premier Padel. She was not so long ago with Gemma Triay as well. Constantly ranked in the top 10, just outside the top 5 at the moment.
Well, this event does have the best players in the world taking part. This is the second Pro Padel League season that started back in April. And this is the perfect end to the calendar year, following those successful events in Miami, 2 occasions, and San Diego. Now, of course, the inaugural PPL season saw Las Vegas Smash beat Cancun Waves in the final to lift the title. Cancun Waves missing out on this city's cup. 2 clubs failed to qualify. 10 started the season, only 8 could make this event. They are placed into 2 groups of 4, and the top 2 teams will qualify for the semi-final. Those will take place on Friday, and the final, of course, on Saturday.
7 p.m. start on Saturday, but we've got a lot of paddle before then, methinks. Eric? Let's see how this match goes. I say, just even today we have this match between Las Vegas Smash and the Toronto Polar Bears. We'll be following that one with 4 p.m, depending how this goes. Start at Eastern Time, which will be the Flow Rider Goats against the Arkansas Matrix. And at 7 p.m, if all goes according to plan, it'll be the New York Atlantics, the home team, against the Los Angeles Beat. East Coast against West Coast.
Or the Cities Cup. This will be the second series of the first session. Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday will be the group games. You get to play all the teams in your group. We can tell you about what would happen should teams tie in these standings, how they choose, or how a team head-to-head could go all the way down to a coin toss.
Very quickly, just to let you know the groups, there's the white group and the gold group. The white group is New York Atlantics, LA Beat, Miami Paddle Club and the Houston Volts. In the gold group, it's Las Vegas Smash, the Flow Rider Goats, Toronto Polar Bears and the Arkansas Matrix.
Miami with 3 points after their opening game. Houston Volts currently sitting bottom in their group, but they can still, of course, qualify. They still have 2 more games to play over the next 2 days. But our focus now turns to the next match on this wonderful court at the Dougal Greenhouse in Brooklyn, New York. It's going to be Ortega de la Peña up against Guinart and Iglesias. So important to try and get that first rubber on the board, because we saw, didn't we, in that first game, sometimes a bit more pressure if you lose that opening match. That's passed on to the men's doubles team.
It means you've got a lot of work to do, basically, because with if you win and make it 1-1, then we go to the mixed doubles, and that does tend to mean players having to play 2 consecutive.
You'd want to avoid playing that extra game if possible, which is exactly what Miami did. Well, on the court and ready for action, just waiting for the umpire to get this underway. Welcome to the Cities Cup, Brooklyn, New York, the season finale. This is the second series on the opening day of competition.
It is indeed, and it looks like it's going to be Victoria Iglesias to get us underway. And good winner there to get us going from Guinart. I say, obviously, Ana Paula de la Peña maybe not as experienced a player as Marta, and I get the feeling that they might just try and focus on her a lot in this match, try and keep the ball away from Marta as much as possible.
Oh, good put away there. Iglesias on serve. Very aggressive player. Normally the players that do play, of course, for those who are just starting in the game on that left-hand side, if they are right-handed, would have those shots down the middle on their forehand, which is why they take the vast majority of shots. It's more an attacking shot. Normally the backhand. Guinart, of course, is left-handed. So they have the added benefit of having two players with forehands down the middle.
Always helps that balance, doesn't it? Well, a good confident start there from Iglesias and Guinart as well.
Oh, quick switch, only 30 seconds in this opening game, and then of course you do get your breaks
After
third,
2 games after that.
5th, 7th, 9th and onwards. So the first 2 matches today, both ending in straight sets. 1-love with serve in this opening set. Las Vegas smash.
Marta Ortega will be serving for Las Vegas. As well there, De La Peña kills the ball as well, didn't bounce at all.
Yeah, very low kick. Apologises as well, wasn't the best of bounces.
Not really her fault. 15-love.
Well, sometimes the players, if the ball does hit the tape, you do win the point. Quick apology. Sometimes if the ball doesn't bounce as it should, some players do like to apologise to their opponents. Of course, delighted that you've won the point.
Ui, Guinart mistimes that one. I think she saw that one there to hit out of court.
Oh, slightly rushed. Set up invitingly.
It was there for it once again, wasn't it? Wolf.
Came across and took it away from her doubles partner, Iglesias.
Once again, Marta, good serve, just forcing Guinart back. Woof, mistimed by Iglesias, 40-love.
So important to claim your service game. Now we're seeing what they see in tennis, the Australian line-up, when you place a player in front of the server, allowing the server to move on to their favoured side of the court. So there we see.
Just covering.
On the forehand side or drive side, Martita.
Good lob. Nice bajada though from Marta. Once again, nice
chance to get forward.
Well angled little.
There's that double-handed backhand. Yeah. There's that speciality. That double-handed backhand ball.
It dipped badly there, didn't it, on De La Peña?
You don't often see those topspin shots in paddle, but they're surprising her opponent. Cross court, the bounce right in front of De La Peña.
Stretching for that one into the net, 30-40. Psyching herself up after that. Good serve from Marta. And we'll play it from Guinart, I think. Using the spin nicely as well off the back of the court.
And also, not too sure, De La Peña, whether to move forward, move back, kind of caught in that.
So what you call the clash?
Sometimes it's the no man's land, but it's, I mean, here, it was a good shot. It was a good shot. It was a tough shot to retrieve, but had you been slightly further back, perhaps you'd had a better chance of keeping that rally alive.
It's in the clash position, Eric. Should I stay or should I go? You know, golden point.
Brilliant put away.
Really well played by Guinart, powerful.
Just seeing there that De La Peña not too sure how the ball would come back off the glass. See there. And in the end, of course, again, had you been one step further towards the fence, you'd have been perhaps in a position where you could have got that ball back into play. But looking very good so far in this opening set, Guinart and Iglesias.
Chance to consolidate that break in this next game from Guinart. Oof, got a bit too much on that one. Love 15.
Again, wayward. Couple of unforced errors. Guinard.
So they are a little bit handicapped by missing a couple of players. Las Vegas is no Alejandra Alonso, the 18-year-old who's
Taken Padel by storm.
really good player with
Teenage sensation.
playing with Ostero normally, who is also here. And Barbara Las Heras was also on the roster, not here either.
Well, their key player, or you could say franchise player, is Marta Ortega.
Well, love 30. Looking for that double-handed backhand Victoria Iglesias.
Well, the player ranked 7th. Has been solid so far. Looking just to keep De La Peña with that confidence high. If you make a couple of mistakes, it's important that your doubles partner doesn't put any extra pressure on you. Needs to be words of encouragement.
Here's a really good chance to
And it's
break back.
working.
Love 40.
World number 1 back in 2019. Martita.
Stretching for that one, De La Peña.
That's a really good serve. That just cannoned off the sidewall. Picked up some pace and then flew straight at Martita. We need another good serve to send this game to a golden point.
Oh, that's got to have hurt.
That stings. That has to sting. Quickly apologising again to De La Peña.
So golden point and Marta Ortega to receive, as you'd probably expect, obviously the much higher ranked player. Just looking to drop that over the net, into the net. So 4 consecutive points there for Iglesias and
They'll be
Guinard. They lead
disappointed.
three,
They
they
would
lead
definitely
3-love, yeah.
be disappointed with that service game. Perhaps the first 2 service games, they weren't really in it. In this game, they had their chances.
Yeah.
They battled back well. At the moment, Guinard, Iglesias in total control.
Coach for Toronto, by the way, is Nicola Quetzo. It's Guga Vasquez who coaches Las Vegas. 25 years in the game, either coaching, playing, bit of a legend. So far so good. Without being massively convincing, they made a few mistakes, but 3-love.
Guinard has missed a couple of easy volleys.
I think that's what's likely to happen with her, isn't it? Because she does look to hit it every so often.
They're both surprisingly very, powerful players. Both players that like to take over the point. Both players that like to dominate the point. Both players that like to take that shot down the middle. They have to share, of course, as they are both playing, a left-handed player and a right-handed player. Both shots down the middle on their favourite drive side. Of course, Iglesias used to play with Ananthathu for many years as Soro, and they they were brilliant together. They finally split, as with many, doubles teams, over time. It's a bit of a knock-on effect, a domino effect.
It's one of those things, isn't it?
Some
One player
players split, and then they start, moving and changing and switching, and also changing throughout the season. Of course, injuries to players too.
Well, you don't remember when Alejandra Salazar and Jeremy Chimitai, they looked like they were set forever, but then obviously Salazar needed an operation.
It was a chain reaction.
It was Gemma went with Marta, didn't she? Of course, and then there was a bit of a surprise when they split. It looked out, that serve to me, but there's no video
wide.
in this.
Now, Iglesias and Guinard both looked down. There was no call from the umpire. It looked out, but the point goes to Ortega and De La Peña.
I was just chatting in the break between matches to one of the umpires, and he says, "You're not having a video. It just puts a little bit of extra pressure on you."
Well, there were no challenges really in that first session. That has been the first, really. Of course, that's been questioned.
Puts that forehand into the net. Victoria Iglesias. It's not normally the line calls, it's the ones where it goes right tight against the side of the court.
They're looking to hit the ball on the rise. Tennis stroke. Iglesias.
Good serve. Not giving her a chance there,
Excellent
Guinard.
play by Guinard. It was all about getting forward to be in that position to keep the shot alive. You don't stay back. As soon as you know that ball's going to hit that back wall, you've got to decide whether to race forward, and she got into an excellent position to take over the point, turn defense into offense.
Well played.
Tucked away
in that corner where it's so hard to get it out.
You're up against the glass. You don't have much room to manoeuvre. Not much room also for the swing of the racket.
So 30-15.
Again, see how low she gets. Victoria Iglesias to hit that double-handed backhand, and again Guinard also using two hands on that backhand side.
And again, well played by De La Peña, however.
They're inching close to the net. Oof. And there you go.
30 all. Once
you
again,
could see
winds
with
it up.
each ground stroke, they were getting closer and closer. Iglesias was there first, Guinard then joining at the net, and that's where you win the vast majority of the points, being at the net.
Another vital point here. Once again, that looks out. And indeed it is this time. It's not easy for the umpire, though, because you've got someone who's sort of in the middle at the side. It's not like in tennis where you've got someone for every line.
Well, there you saw a brilliant passing shot, but it was probably hit too hard by Iglesias. Great recovery. Excellent recovery.
Just looking to dip it over the net there, De La Peña, but great play.
You saw that passing shot just quickly before that double-handed. It was the speed. It was too fast. It was an excellent passing shot. Brilliant for tennis. You win the point outright. But, of course, in Padel with that back ball, it came back again. So all Mart had to do was just step out the side and then hit it attacking, not defending.
Chance to go for love up. Still another chance. It's going to go to a golden point. That's a good serve. Well defended, well played there by Guinard.
Off the foot, that's unlucky. That's really unlucky. You know, you've got to be really quick on your feet, and that's something perhaps, you know, De La Peña hasn't played at the highest level.
Just
Padel,
slightly
and
footed,
maybe
perhaps.
there, yeah. Just you need to be really alert. It's very difficult. The ball comes, you know, arrow directly towards your feet. You've got to jump out the way. 2
breaks to the good in this opening set. Iglesias and Guinard. Nicely played. 15 love.
We've had just over 20 minutes, averaging what? 5 minutes per game.
30 love.
And this one looks like it'll be even quicker.
Right down the middle there. Once again, hooks that one round. Guinard. Marta looks to take control. Doesn't go
clear
out.
the fence. Doesn't clear the fence. That was a tough one to judge. Got the shout, Iglesias, so made the move, took the gamble. Didn't pay off on this occasion.
Just seeing a little bit flatter there, Marta Ortega. And Guinard once again worked the opportunity. Thought for a moment that was just going to carry for Marta.
Yeah, just difficult for Marta to judge that. Sometimes you're too far forward and don't have enough time to react. And that was again unlucky.
Yeah,
off the tape.
Dropping down 5-love to Guinart and Iglesias. We go into our next break.
Iglesias started in tennis, was really talented at 6, started winning tournaments, but switched to paddle a few years later, of course, making the right choice. From Sevilla, quite a few players on the world circuit are from Sevilla, of course, also Spain, Argentina provide the vast majority of world-class players, and here, coach, trainer will just be telling his players, great job, more of the same, close out the set, close out the first set, and then back to square one in that second set and to maintain the momentum. And they're not playing every single ball to De La Peña, but what they are doing is being very clever with their shots. We've seen, I think, 4 unforced errors, and 3 have been smashes, a couple into the net, 1 well wide, but they've been very clever with their shots. And looking at all the points, I'd like to see the stat later at the end. So many have come from being at the net because they are dominating the net. Yeah. And unless that changes, I can't see Ortega De La Peña finding a way back into the game. That's got to be the instruction from their coach. Somehow, with those lobs, take a few gambles, a few risks. You've got to try and push forward and get to that net.
But the problem is as well, obviously, with Marta being ranked much, much higher than De La Peña, it's also a lot of responsibility for her, and you could end up just burning yourself in the match as well if you're looking to take a lot of maybe balls that normally you wouldn't do. That's going to force you into mistakes that aren't particularly habitual or particularly normal for you.
Or playing at the highest level. Marta, former #1, of course, teaming up with De La Peña. Circumstances on the team, not maybe at full strength, but still a talented doubles team, capable of much more than we've seen in this first set so far.
Marta to serve, stay in the set. Oh, well done. Gets it out, but, oh, brilliant. Brilliant point there, because Victoria Iglesias does tremendously well, and De La Peña,
well, she did everything right, but De La Peña, straight away, the angle that Iglesias has means it's got to go into that kind of area. Stood there, scooped it over the net, good winner.
Good smash, goes out this time. You could almost make an argument that Victoria Iglesias hit that too well. If she'd have just dinked it into the court, maybe it would have not gone that far. Well played by Victoria Iglesias, though, makes it 15-all.
When you look at Martita, not the most powerful of players. Played very well, remember, with Bear. They made a great doubles due. I mean, here, you've got 2 players that don't have the hardest of smashes, and they are going to struggle to win those points outright. They're going to have to grind down their opponents.
Yeah, once again, Marta looks to take that one. Sends it high. Does really well there, Marta.
Did really well. Stayed in the point. Mistake by Iglesias.
(30-15). Well, got a little bit lucky, but now and then you just need a bit of luck, don't you?
Off the tape. What's important, you know, Lady Luck smiles on you now. A chance to get on the scoreboard.
Well served, really good serve, stayed low. Impossible to return, so 5-1, but it will be Marina Guinart to serve for the first set.
I have to just remind viewers that Las Vegas Smash are the defending champions.
And won the league in the regular season.
And also, yeah, beat San Diego, winning that final, and, well, I suppose as well, we're missing a couple of players. Doesn't help. And also, Iglesias and Guinart are playing well.
Yeah, Guinart drives that one in right between De La Peña's feet. 15-love. That looked fault, yep.
Good to see Iglesias also just telling the umpire it had gone wide, just in case he is set on the other side. I couldn't get enough height on that forehand.
Stayed a wee bit low, didn't it, the serve as well?
Sometimes you see a bit of superstition. Just won a point. I want to use that ball again. That was a really difficult shot. Bounced really high, a huge kick, double-handed, got it down low,
controlled it really
net.
well. Controlled it really well. I mean, the thing is, De La Peña's not quite as good. She's not doesn't play at the same level as everybody else in this. But you know, she's absolutely no slouch at all.
Very decent player. But we've said there are, you know, minor differences. You know, top 8, of course, top 2, top 8, top 16, top 50. It's that consistency and those big shots. But it's 30-30.
Yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, in with a chance. Imagine Marina Guinart serving for the first set. Great chance here.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well played.
So good.
Really well played. 30-40.
Did set up nicely, but in the right position, where you needed to be at the net to take advantage of that very short lob. Little baby steps forward to get into position.
And gets enough on it. Ooh, wild, wild, wild. So, 5 games to 2. Pulling back one of the service breaks as we go into our nice little break between games.
Back-to-back games, good. Playing better. We've seen less unforced errors. And also, I think De La Peña has gone up a level. Hitting some winners, some really good shots. Definitely improving as the set is going on.
Yeah, and that'll do fantastic things for her confidence as well. It's also a little advice to these two that they're not going to win just by right, just by turning up. You've got to put in a performance as well.
Okay. Oh, the key now, of course, is win this service game. Let's break Ortega and De La Peña. Let's start the second set serving. Because then, of course, you get that break.
Yeah, if you get it
and
right.
you win your service game. It's 3, still 1 break, but you're winning 3-0. Which is why it's so important that they try and break here, close out the first set.
And then you get on the front foot again in the second. It's just psychological at the end of the day, but it is a factor.
I often say the focus, concentration, playing those key points, because all these players have excellent shots. But, you know, the difference between those at the top and those slightly further down is
that they hit them a little bit more as well.
Consistency, focus, and having, you know, that experience of handling pressure.
Love 15. Quite sure what happened there.
It was an excellent little lob. I think
Did
Marta
she
lost
just
sight of the ball, and by the time she wanted to react, it was too late.
Boy, Yo's mine. Well worked.
Having to work hard, Martita, to keep this point alive.
And in the end, she can't, so it is love 30.
That's right. Often you see players focus on one player because you wear down the player, and in the end, what happens is they tire. And also, they're out of position.
Yep.
because they start losing their court awareness. You're racing forward or racing back. You're turning off the fence, off the glass wall. And then your doubles partner's trying to get involved into the point, knowing that they can't leave their lane completely open.
Nice, decent block. Sat up, didn't it, there, that one? Iglesias opting just to put in a little bit of a bandeja, and De La Peña puts her...
Oh, she was moving. She was moving. She
just off balance.
Wasn't quite in position for that shot.
So 4 set points. And once again, driven at her by Guinart, and Ana Paula de la Peña couldn't quite control it. So there is the first set, 6-2 for Victoria Iglesias and Marina Guinart. It's taken us, just looking at the clock on the wall, 32 minutes, maybe just slightly under.
Very good first set. Guinart Iglesias dominating the net, dominating the vast majority of points. There was a moment, 5-love, where Ortega de la Peña got themselves off to, well, you know, the first game and winning the second game on the board. But I think they need to improve on their serves. They need to try and win those service games. And the way to win those service games is, of course, getting their serves into play, getting into the net and dominating the point. And as far as dominating points, I think if you take away the unforced errors we've seen, Guinart with 3 or 4, Iglesias with a couple, they've not really been on top of many of the points we've seen in that first set. So the defending champions, still early days, but in trouble in this opening match.
No, exactly, and Marta looks a little bit weary, doesn't she? Don't let it get on top of you, basically, is what she's saying, isn't it? Don't.
And also, you've got to try and, you know, realise that perhaps they will look to target more balls in your general direction. They try and cope with that load. It's not easy. Marta will try and help as much as possible.
El punto sigue.
She's made some cracking shots. I mean, that's a lovely winner, that one. It's possibly the most entertaining point of the match so far. Victoria Iglesias goes out, keeps it alive, but there she is, De La Peña
block volley.
Right, Victoria Iglesias to get us underway at the start of this second set. Back live with you now. Nice little. Oof. Once again, just
got right behind that.
Pressuring
Smash.
Ana Paula there, and then just was able to, could only set it up for Iglesias to...
the lob was short, and there, you know, your doubles partners are sitting duck. You can't really do much. Stick the racket there. Hopefully you might get lucky.
That's a lovely little shot there from Marta. Nice lob. Guinart misses that one.
Did well though, because it was an action shot from Iglesias. So Guinart went to the net, knowing that she could perhaps capitalise. She was there, but couldn't capitalise. It was another unforced error.
All. Well played, Marta. You hear someone saying there, que bien, Marta. Really good, Marta. Dominating that point.
Well, first attacking one player, the other player, again, and then the opening, Guinart.
Oof. Good shot, good return, though.
Brilliant backhand.
Yeah, just
slice volley. Just didn't bounce.
Which means it dies off the back of the court. It's too much on that one.
Yeah, really went for that
40-30.
backhand.
Just didn't get it to dip. Second serve. And there is the first game of the second set.
Well, good start for the team from Toronto, Canada. 6-2, 1-love.
Yeah, the Polar Bears, they're putting them on ice at the moment, aren't they? 6-2, 1-love. Presumably Marta Ortega to serve next after a very short break.
And of course, for the next game, they've got Koki Nieto, the world number 17, on the active roster, which is a massive boost. So I'm sure they'll be confident ahead of the men's doubles game 2 as we prepare for new balls on this court at the Google Greenhouse.
Who usually plays alongside John
Sant, who we saw earlier.
Who we saw playing with Gustapia. Very effectively as well, it has to be said. Koch is a really good player. He's busy all over the court, yeah. Martita Ortega to serve. Oh, that was nearly a fantastic drop.
One of those ones where you're kind of like, you know, blowing just to see if you can carry it over the net. Had it gone over, a winner. And along with the smashes, I think one of the most satisfying shots, those kind of drop shots, you know, that you just, you know, flick it over the net and even bounce back onto your side or even into the net.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, Marta. I think she judged that well. Hits the top of the 3 metre at the side of the court and just runs along, so she couldn't get a shot at it. Love 30.
Going along with the first serve.
Not quite sure what happens there with Marina Guinard, but 15-30.
Oh, Henry Strasser, Rick Belcastro, Gavin Malouf put together a really good team here. They are struggling in this opening match.
Oh, a little bit lucky though, but 15-40. I suppose if you are trying to play your shots close to the net, it's logical that you are going to, it is going to come into action quite a lot into play.
Yeah, you win more than you lose as well. Because even if you know, it comes off badly, it will probably go over the net. Whereas if you're deep in defending, a poor shot leaves it, you know, you're open to anything. Smashes, Biboras, Chancletathos.
Well played by the La Peña there. Aye, and this time it's Marta who mishits it.
But it's difficult. It's difficult when you're basically, you kind of know you don't have that opportunity to get involved, and suddenly you get a shot and you feel like you need to win it. You need to win it there and there.
Yeah.
Because you don't know when the balls will be coming your way again.
So 2 games still have 1 break to the good, and once again Guinard starting the 3rd game very positively. And as you say, if they win this, will go into the next break 3-love up. Little careless on the backhand, 15-all.
Well, that definitely not coming off the sweet spot.
Good shot from De La Peña, defends it well.
Hitting some really good lobs over Guinard De La Peña, who is one of the tallest players playing professional paddle.
Ay, Marta. 30-15.
Again, it's that kind of pressure that you feel like, I've got the chance, I've got to make my mark on the point, I've got to do something. And again, taking a risk and making a mistake. Track the ball so well there, Marta.
Down the middle. Marta just moving into more and more into sort of De La Peña's side of the court, and there she does really well. Well done. But Victoria Iglesias reads it well.
The first shot was excellent, and Iglesias very cleverly just knocking the ball to the other side and not allowing her opponent enough time just to get back into position and across again and stoop down low to the opposite side. Well played, Iglesias.
But it's quite interesting that they're not actually focusing on De La Peña all the time. As you said, you know, there's quite a lot of balls going at Marta.
Well, it's that mix and matching.
Well played.
Keeping your opponents on their toes. You don't want to be predictable. That's the worst. You don't want to be predictable. You don't want, your opponents to know it's always going to be a lob, or a backhand
40-30.
Which is why sometimes you see Iglesias hit a few topspin shots.
Another good rally.
Good switch by Gath. See, that was unpredictable. That was unorthodox. You expected that to go cross-court. It didn't.
Almost gets the blocker, but just can't get enough power behind it. So we go into the next break. 3-love up for Guinart and Iglesias.
Well, they won the first 5 games of the first set. Ortega de la Peña winning 2. And now the last 4 games, again, won by Guinart and Victoria Iglesias on another roll. They were looking to close this out, perhaps in under an hour, which would make it for the fastest game of the session so far. And then, of course, the men's double team will step onto the court in a very good position.
Exactly. Coque Nieto and Javi Barajona against Juan Manuel Vázquez and Federico Mourinho. Once again, Federico Mourinho ranked just outside of the top 50, but Juan Manuel Vázquez is quite a long way out of the top 50 and the top 100 and the top 200.
One of their best performances of the season. Toronto Polar Bears losing that 3rd, 4th playoff in event 1 of the season in Miami, losing to the New York Atlanticos. So one of the underdogs here, but they are leading against the holders.
It's Ana Paula de la Peña serving love 15. Nice forehand volley there from Marta, 15-all. Died a little bit there on Iglesias. 30-15 on de la Peña's serve. Good serve, that one as well. Just a bit long, though. The backhand volley. 30-all.
Now Marta will be involved again should there be a mixed doubles. Looking unlikely right now. But still, of course, we've got the men's game coming up afterwards. Should
just leaves that lob a little bit short there, Guinart. And once again, it's that change of angle, isn't it, that just catches a little bit flat. But once again, it's sort of no man's land as well.
When it comes to your Víboras smashes, I mean, Guinart
hits it harder than most.
Generates a lot of power behind her shots and has that ability at the last moment. You look at her body, look at her feet, look how she's angled. It looks like she's going to go a certain direction. She either opens up or sometimes aims it down the line and just catches opponents off guard.
Meanwhile, 2 points for love in the second set. Well played by Marta and well finished by de la Peña, which gives us a golden point. Tied Guinart a little bit in knots there, didn't they? Okay, it'll be Guinart to receive the service. And again, well played, Marta, and I think that's out. It is indeed well played.
Big round of applause. You can see the neutrals hoping that Ortega de la Peña get back into this match.
The thing is, you want to see somebody do well as well, don't you, for themselves? Victoria Iglesias serving.
Great switch.
Yeah.
Iglesias again, expecting that shot down the middle. Quarter down the lane.
Well played.
Now that should have been a shot for De La Peña.
On her forehand,
it drifted,
closer
hit
to
the
her,
glass, and the angle made it go out towards
That's
De La Peña.
Fault. It stayed low as well, has to be said.
The thing is, once a player's kind of committed to taking over your shot, you kind of like step out the way, raise your racket.
Yeah, and you're not going to get there,
and you're not ready.
Maggie looking to change the angle, but just leaves it short.
Just drifting into the net.
30-15. I'll see another little chink of hope.
And you see it. She's come forward.
Fake smash, and Marta just puts it low.
You don't often see that. I mean, when you use that back wall, which is a defensive shot, kind of allows you to get back into position, but drifting out all the way deep, don't think she'll be too happy with the execution.
30-all, second serve. Putting the pressure on here, Marta. And well played, Marta Ortega, 30-40. 2 break points for her and Ana Paula de la Peña.
Did so well to avoid the net there, De La Peña.
Too long.
Still another chance,
Marta.
but De La Peña tiptoeing.
Yeah.
Great balance because, just managed to not touch the net, losing the point, but still, golden point.
Still there to be won. No, doesn't hit that quite as she wants to, but she takes the point and they take the service break.
Iglesias got stuck up right by the glass and couldn't have that, couldn't bring that racket back far enough.
So well done. Well done. Right back into the set then.
And serving
to go 3-0.
Play resumes to tie this second set 3-3.
Look at that last point, as you say, she's right in on the glass, so she can't get the full swing at it. And again. That's good defensive volley, that from De La Peña. Back on court in a moment or two. It'll be Marta the serve when we get back.
Well, 3-2. In a really good position, Martita and De La Peña, because of course when they won their 2 games in the first set, they were trailing 5-0. Here, a chance to tie proceedings 3-3 in the second set. And it's going to be former world #1 Martita to serve.
De La Peña puts that.
I think that's the third time.
It's gone the right side. I was just looking at it. I had to look
the right
at it.
side for
I had to peer forward to see which
Las
side
Vegas
that
smash.
fallen. 15. Hang on. 15, love, thank you. Both went for the same ball, 15-all.
Again, perhaps Should have been for De La Peña. Forehand.
Moving into her side of the court as well. Another awkward one there for Victoria Iglesias. Good lob.
Oh. I thought it was good, the shot.
It looked good to me. Iglesias.
And Iglesias saying the ball bounced on her side of the court. Well, did the player hit the ball twice? So hit the ball and then with the follow through, double hit. If it is, then of course you lose the point. We
big point.
couldn't get a clear view. It is 15-all.
It's gone to
15-30.
I wouldn't mind seeing a replay.
I was going to see. It was tight.
Oh, well played. Nice shot. Good recovery. I said live, I couldn't really see a problem with it.
It's even difficult for the players. Sometimes you're there and you're not too sure of the ball. Double bounce. It was so difficult to see, but the umpire made his call. The game continues, and shame about that volley because it's been a long time since we've seen De La Peña make an unforced error.
Yeah.
She's been playing very well.
2 break points
in the second set.
That's gone a bit long, though, so that is another break. So it's 4-2 to Guinart and Iglesias.
We're still in the set. Of course, now you've got that added pressure of having to break, which they have done.
And it's getting near the end of the set, isn't it, as well?
Well, less margin for error.
Love 15.
There you could see Guinart just didn't get into position.
Boy, Victoria
scurried forward, Martita.
Yeah, Marta just keeping that point alive and forcing, well, I was going to say forcing an unforced error. Drawing an unforced error is perhaps the phrase. Love 30.
Perfect response after being broken is to try and break back.
And again, really good stuff from Marta. Really played because she was stretching. That was down
also,
low.
Was slow getting forward and capitalised. That shot down low, taking that step forward. Again, not well positioned. Guinart.
Again, Marta looking to get into the net quickly. Intelligent lob from
Sends
Iglesias.
over really high lobs, De La Peña.
Well, this time the luck goes the other way. 15-40.
Not enough time to adjust in the air there. Had already had a racket back, De La Peña, for the shot, and then suddenly it's very difficult to get into position once that ball clips the tape.
That might be a bit long. It is indeed, yeah, 30-40.
Just edging wide. Well, back-to-back points for Guinart and Iglesias. Half volley, difficult shot to master, that half volley, because you can get the half volley over the net, but to control the speed, the angle,
and not leave it up,
very difficult
to be pummeled.
And wow,
golden point.
It was looking good in this game for Ortega and De La Peña. Still, they need just the 1 point, but so do Guinart and Iglesias.
Marta receives. Yeah, it was blasted in by Guinart. Difficult for De La Peña to control. So 5-2 after having the game half in their pocket. Time for another break, and then it will be De La Peña serving to stay in the match.
These are the toughest ones to come back from. If you lose a service game to love, you've lost a service game to love. But if you're winning 40-love and you lose the service game, that is tough.
Well, in this case, it was a chance for a break, wasn't it? They must have thought the break was there.
We had a double 6-3 in the previous match from the earlier series. Miami taking their series 2-0 against Houston Volts. Here we could be on course for a double 6-2. It will be De La Peña to serve. Guinart and Iglesias seem to have stayed the ship. And here, they're just having a quick conversation.
I think they're clear. They must be talking about that point.
That point. I mean, just coming across one of the coaches just to share his opinion with the umpire. It was, when you play paddle, sometimes you could be half a metre and you don't have that perspective where you see if the ball hits the glass first or the court. That one, sometimes a player, if it does hit their racket twice, you kind of realise, but again, if at the same time your racket kind of hits the ground as you hit the ball, you're not even too sure if it's ball,
if it's the ball, racket, ball, ground.
And you're in that point, you're back into position again, so it was a tough call.
Anyhow, Ana Paula De La Peña serving for her and Marta Ortega to stay in the match. She held her serve last time. And starts off very well in this game as well. Nicely played.
Cool. Iglesias, wrong-footed. Probably took 2 steps forward on what wasn't the right approach shot and got caught out.
Serve as well, again. And just
that was close. It was close. It was a clever shot.
But it's just slid away from a 30 love.
It was always drifting towards the right, towards the fence.
Opting to stay back. Guinart and Iglesias. Now they're starting to step forward. Woofos gets a little bit of luck there off the cord. Lovely change of angle there from Martin there.
Oh, good to see Marti just come across. A little pat on the back. You know, De La Peña has been playing well.
Yeah.
And it was a good point, just that shot was lacking. And there was a gap, it was down the middle.
Still 30-15 in their favour. It's an awkward one.
Yeah, the Segueda. The fact they'd stayed back, and then the fact they'd stayed back in that point, and straight away they were on the back foot.
And it was just an evil ball in the corner there for her to deal with as well. So once again, it's that moment, isn't it, where you think you've just got to win this point. Otherwise, I think it is going to be game, set, and match over.
Look at that. Both players, Guinart and Iglesias, forward straight away. Oh, that would have been amazing, because both players flat-footed.
Changes the angle off the back of the court.
Didn't quite come off.
Didn't quite get enough height on it. And so 2 match points. Yeah, good stuff. That's for me, that's the sort of shot that's so hard to call.
From the bounce, it was in, but so difficult.
Yep.
The players knew straight away, massive risk. I mean, that was a centimetre either way. Would have been out.
Someone warming up on the top right of your screen, by the way, you can see. Still match point. Oi! Well, Guinart makes a bit of a mess of that one, so 5-3. It'll now be Victoria Iglesias to serve for the match, but once again, De La Peña holding a serve.
Well, somehow they battled their way back against all odds. First, that smash into the corner, and then staying in the point. Another mistake by Guinart. That's tucked away superbly.
Yeah, really well, good finish, and she anticipated that, looked for the angle, knew exactly what she was going to do.
And there, De La Peña was caught in the middle, couldn't really do much.
And once again, she's going to be in trouble here. Yeah,
another
once
brilliant
again.
reflex volley. Such quick hands, because you have the reflex volley and then you have that ability to also place it somewhere your opponents can't get to. And Guinart is very good at that.
Does well to dig that one out. That might be... No, it's a good... I just for a second I thought it might have gone long, but it doesn't.
And of course, on an outdoor court, you never know. This is the benefit of playing indoors. You always know there's no wind.
Yeah.
Also, the the sunlight. They've drawn some curtains over at the far end, so no light is entering the venue.
So 4 match points, and they only need 1. So that is the end. Game, set, and match to Marina Guinart and Victoria Iglesias. 6-2, 6-3 against Marta Ortega and Ana Paula de la Peña.
Well, the defending champions, Paul, dropping the first match of their rubber. Excellent performance by Guinart and Iglesias, despite making some unforced errors, more than they would have liked. But the fact that they dominated the net throughout those 2 sets made them clear favourites. They were favourites at the start of the game. Martita played well. De la Peña, I think, improved a lot in that second set. 6-2 though, 6-3, straight set loss. Bit of added pressure now on the men's double team, looking to, well, salvage something from this tie for Las Vegas smash and send it to the 3rd game. Well, let's see the smash of the match by Adidas.
Our Adidas smash of the match is, let's see who it's hit by. Do you know, I thought it probably would be Marina Guinart. There she is. Decent lob from De la Peña, but she catches that, gets the top spin on it, rolls along the top of the court and out of Marta's reach. So again, let's have a look.
Really good if you just watch that technique. Points at the ball with one arm. She's left-handed, her right arm. So tracks the fly to the ball, gets ready, the racket is behind the head really early. Well positioned, generates the speed, the top spin, kicks off the back glass. And like we saw, a winner. So shortly we'll be hearing the interview, hearing from the winners from this opening match on this court here in Brooklyn, New York, the Pro Padel League, the season finale.
We'll be hearing from our man Julian, who's down courtside in a moment. He'll have a word with Victoria Iglesias and Marina Guinart.
But now we're going to see Juan Manuel Vázquez, Fede Mourinho against Coquinieto, Javi Barahona, who again on paper seem to be favourites. So Toronto Polo Bears have taken a lead in the series, 1-0. Good victory for Guinart and Victoria Iglesias. Coming up, probably their strongest pairing on that team, Coquinieto and Barahona. But we can hear now from Julian, who is courtside with the winners of this match.
Thank you, Julian.
Incredible performance by the Padel Bears. Marina, Victoria, please tell us how was the match? How did you guys feel in the court? ¿Cómo le fue en la cancha? ¿Qué sintieron en la pista?
Pues nada, se ve que estamos jugando a un gran nivel. Marina y yo ya somos compañeras en el circuito, así que estamos muy contentas de jugar aquí juntas en New York. Así que nada, hemos dado el puntito al equipo, a ver si los chicos nos dan el otro punto que falta.
So happy to win the first point. Marina and myself, we played together in circuit, so we know very well each other, and happy with the victory. Marina, how's New York treating you?
I mean, I think we are all really happy to be here. It's a different tournament that we are used to, and nothing. I mean, I'm really happy personally to be here, to play with Victoria, to play for the Polar Bears, and let's see if we can finish well.
Let's go Polar Bears.
Good grasp of English there from
Brilliant.
Marina Guinart.
Good to see, good to see. Let's go Polar Bears. Will they be delighted with that victory in their match, Victoria Iglesias?
Well, after that performance, there'll be 9 cat paddle places in Toronto. Here's the highlights.
It's a booming sport, and then we're going to see some of the best shots from 2 sets, straight set victory for the favourites coming into this game. Now, of course, we've been saying this throughout, that the current holders could be in big trouble if they fail to win the next game up on this court. But we saw, I think, Martita improve in that second set. They had, again, we're seeing these key points, these golden points, which are proving decisive.
Yep. So not all paddle tournaments have them, but I must confess I'm a big fan.
Adds a bit of drama, I think, adds a bit of excitement, a bit of drama to these matches. And there we see now the stats from this match ball.
So there you go, 35 points won by Martin de la Peña, 48 for Guinart and Iglesias, which is 57%. And it's what you were saying, they won 4 goal points against 3. And their biggest consecutive run was only 5 points. So with just 1 hour and 2, we'll be taking a quick break and we'll be back with the men in a moment.